DZ, man, thank you so much for coming on and have a chat.
Thanks for having me, man. I'm excited, nervous, but I'm keen. Yeah.
Nothing to be nervous about. We're all pretty relaxed here. It's just a general conversation, just to get to know you a bit better.
Yeah, that's
How'd you
great.
How'd you get into music, man? What made you want to start rapping?
Well, it's actually a pretty interesting story. So my brother used to make dubstep long before I did any music. And one day we'll just at a family, we're having a little get together or something. And me and my friend used to freestyle rap all the time. So I'd be in school and at recess and lunch, I'd always be freestyling.
Hmm.
And we're at this party, and my friend goes to my brother, he can rap. And my brother's like, oh, yeah, yeah, anyone can fucking rap, everyone raps. And then he's like, no, no, he can rap. And then we put on some beats or something. We started freestyling. And then my brother was like, I make music too. Like we didn't know about each other's music, and he was starting his dubstep thing. So I think it was like the next day or something. We were in his room, and he already had a beat, and I was already rapping over some dubstep. So the way we started was originally I was just doing vocals over his dubstep music.
Hmm.
That's kind of our very early stuff. And then it just evolved, man. He started making hip hop beats. I started rapping harder, getting better, and it just stuck, man. We're about 5 years down the track now, still going.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, you said something that really stuck out to me is I feel like every second person is a rapper. Like
yeah,
it's hard to determine the people who are in here for the long run and people who are in here just for shits and giggles. And for you to be here for 5 years shows determination.
it's just fun, man. It's always been fun for us, and as long as it stays being fun, we'll keep doing it, man. And
Hmm.
people seem to enjoy it. We're getting decent traction now, slowly but surely. We got a lot of dedicated fans, and it feels good, man. It feels like we're on the right path. So
Yeah. Yeah. You're on the cusp of like blowing. You know what I mean? Like you're almost there.
let's hope so. I mean, it feels like we're onto something for sure.
Yeah.
Time will
And
tell, I guess.
within the 5 years, you've also created your own record label, Triple
Yeah,
Jacket
that's right.
Mafia.
Um, so my brother, he and his friends when they were in school, they had a crew. Everyone has their little crew names and
Mm.
stuff. They were always Trip Jacket Mafia. And then, they'd always rep it even before they were doing anything. No music, nothing. They'd always just, they'd rep it. They'd put posts saying Trip Jacket Mafia. And when my brother really started to get serious, him and a few of his friends were all starting to get into music. And they started DJing together as a group. So when they DJ, they'd be like five of them on stage, and their DJ name was Trip Jacket Mafia. So, it was just natural progression, you know what I mean? When my brother started to get more serious and started getting more involved, what better name for the label than Trip Jacket Mafia?
Yeah. And then now it is what it is today. I see you got
Exactly.
some clothing on you. Brand new, I assume.
Yes, yes, very excited
Yeah.
about this. Um, so one thing I said from the start was that my brother got these logos made, right? And I always thought, I'm like, bro, these would look sick on clothes, man. We have
Mm.
to put it on clothes because, people I feel like are kind of reluctant to wear merch, especially until you have a big enough audience. People don't really want to look like they're wearing merch. They don't want it to look like some nerdy type of. They want it to, So I always thought our logos are so clean and so they look professional. It looks like streetwear. So someone, as you can see on this hat, you can't tell. This just looks like a brand. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? A clothing brand that anyone would wear. And I always thought from the start that it looked great. So we started off doing merch with so I'd buy plain prints, and then I had a friend who actually did vinyl printing, luckily. So we did our first couple drops with, that way.
Yeah.
And we just started. We're launching this weekend, actually. I went through all the process on getting Shopify set up, on setting up all this arduous, business shit, that you
All
have
that
to do.
behind the
It,
scenes shit. Yeah, man.
it's taken me about a month, but I really wanted to do print on demand. So instead of me buying all this blank stuff like a caveman and printing
Mm.
it manually, which is just the costs are just ridiculous
Oh,
when you
yeah.
do it that way.
Even just starting
Um,
out.
exactly, like
Yeah.
it's not worth it. You know what I mean? Especially for the amount we're gonna sell. So that's why I figured out this model of having it print on demand, where we don't handle the shipping, we don't handle the inventory. People order it, then it gets made to order.
Hmm.
I've been so keen to do it, and I'm very excited that we finally got it all working. We got it all going, and it's turning out sick, man. I'm super happy with these. The hat is awesome. A lot of people are excited. We're excited. So yeah, man, it should be good. This weekend we're launching actually. So
Yeah.
it's great that we're doing this today.
No, that's sick. I've been listening to, like, you have another podcast of your own called the FireCast, and I've been listening to a couple episodes of that. I feel like the past like 4 episodes are just you guys just pretty much just blowing smoke up your own ass about this merch. So it better be damn good.
You got to do what you got to do, man. Like we're just very excited, and
Yeah.
it's been a long process. So um, yeah, the Firecast, we don't want to kind of, we're always about transparency,
Hmm.
so like we've had struggles. We already did some test products and they didn't turn out great, and we want our listeners to understand that and to kind of be a part of the process, so we're not in it for the money or anything like that. We're making very minimal profit. It's just to kind of, it's just fun, man, to build the brand, get people aware, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. People are just like literally walking billboards at that
Yeah,
point. Like, yeah.
exactly.
But as you said on your Firecast, people don't quite understand the back end of the drop shipping side of things. So they're paying $30 for a shirt, but you're maybe getting like $3 to $5 from it all. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a hard life.
People so I, myself included, I'm not a big shopper. I don't buy much of my own clothes and stuff. I've never been into it that much. But when you go online shopping, a lot of these stores, it's shirts are just so expensive. You're like, some people are paying 80 $90 for a shirt, and that's not necessarily because the shop is ripping you off. That's because it costs so much just to make this stuff.
Mhm.
You got to pay a Shopify fee, and if you're holding inventory, you got to buy all that stock, get it printed. You know, there's a lot that goes into it. So what I've learned now that I've gone on this journey is I've kind of built a newfound respect for clothing brands. You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah,
understand how hard it really is to get a good one going.
yeah. Well, enough of that. If anyone wants to hear more about it, listen to Firecast. It's available on Spotify and probably anywhere else, all platforms. And they do a very good job of talking it up. So go check it out there. It's dropping this weekend. I'll leave a link down below. You guys can check it out. I'm excited to see the store. You guys have been talking this store up like it's gold, man. Like, like I'm excited to see what it looks like. I hear it's clean, fresh. Like, yeah, I'm
we
excited.
we've been working hard, man,
Yeah.
and it's props to Shopify too, man. I mean, 2022, it's easier now than ever to get your own stuff going. So they have a lot of tools and great things that
Mm.
really helped us clean it up and make it look nice.
But like, not even that, not even shopping, but like, you guys can release music from your wardrobe. Like where you are right now, you could upload a song and it could be available everywhere. Like, what has the world come to? You know what I mean? No longer you do need a big label to make your own music anymore.
That's right, and that's the beauty of it, man. If you're not chasing your dreams in 2022, man,
Hmm.
I don't know what you're doing with yourself because there's no excuse anymore. There's
Yeah.
literally no excuse. As you said, I got clothes behind me and shit, you know what I mean? And it still works. It sounds clean. It sounds there's no, I'm not losing anything. I'm just
Hmm.
working on myself. You might have to go to your 9 to 5, but when you get home, you got so many avenues to do what you really want to do. And if you keep at it long enough with consistency, it'll pay off, man. It's just people are too scared to take the leap.
That's it. Well, yeah, that's it. But speaking of avenues, you guys have a podcast, a record label, now a clothing store, and you guys sponsor a streamer. What's that about?
Yeah, we do a lot, man. We try
Yeah.
to be everywhere. So we have our good friends at the Safe Boys. All right, they've been doing their own podcast too, and we shout each other out a lot. You know what I mean? And they're just the homies, And like we said, it's easier than ever to chase your dreams. And the Safe Boys, they're just our homies that are also doing the same thing. You know what I mean? So we got to have each other's backs. Um, they shout us out, we shout them out. It's all love, man. We're all about spreading each other's business, spreading each other's brand, and we're going to keep it that way. We scratch each other's backs.
Yeah. Well, what's the music industry like? Like, you say all love between, like, obviously your collective group, but like, I feel it's very difficult to get in anywhere. I feel like it's a flooded market for a rapper. It's a flooded market for like dance music or in that DJing aspect. Like, how do you guys find the atmosphere of the Oz rap scene in a way without blacklisting yourself?
It's very oversaturated.
Mm.
You're spot on, man. And the thing is too that, like, no offense to anyone, but like a lot of people, it's like they don't have the self-awareness to really kind of go, maybe this isn't the best. They don't take the time to practice, perfect the craft before they put things out. And that's where, because it's easier than ever, I mean, you should be chasing your dreams, like I said, but because it's so easy now, people are just releasing so much stuff, and 90% of it, isn't up to scratch.
Yeah, there's a lot of
And the
people that
sad
should
thing
be.
about that,
There's a lot of people that shouldn't be chasing their dream.
yeah,
Yeah.
it takes practice, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
And some people just really got to take that extra time. But because of that, it does make a lot of people kind of frown upon Aussie rap.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So people, like, we're pretty good at what we do, not to fucking, toot my own horn, but like, we've been at it a while. But now if we're going to a brand new person or a brand new audience, you say, "Oh, I'm a rapper, I'm a musician," they kind of roll their eyes. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because they hear so much lackluster stuff. And it's been like that for a while, and it does make it hard, but we love what we do, man. And as long as you're passionate and consistent, you'll find your audience. And we got a lot of dedicated fans, and I'm so grateful to have them around that are always going to tune into our shit.
Yeah. Have you ever felt like giving up? Like, it's obviously oversaturated and you've been doing this for 5 years, but have you ever felt like you've just, like, I don't know if you receive hate, but have you ever felt like just giving up and just doing a normal 9 to 5?
Not once.
No?
Not once. It's because the thing with us, like, we genuinely love what we do. We're not in it about, whether it's a job or not, we're still going to do it, and we're young. I'm only 23.
Mm.
When I can get a job that my mum has or my dad has, I can get a job at 30, the same job. I can get the same job at 40. Most people are just working a job that does the job, you know what I mean? That they're not, it doesn't take much skill. It doesn't take much, So while I'm young, while my brother's young, while we're all, we have the energy and the time to really work on ourselves. And I know that the secret ingredient is consistency.
Yeah.
So if I keep going the way I am, by the time I'm 30, it's going to be paying the bills. It doesn't matter what you do. If you keep at it, it's going to pay off. A lot of people just quit and they give up because, they feel like they're running out of time. But 30 is still young, man. You know what I mean? You got time.
As a person who is pushing 30, I'm 28 myself. There's still a lot of time left in the,
Plenty
left on the clock. Easy. Yeah.
Plenty. And you're doing these interviews, which I think is fantastic, man. I've been looking for I followed you a while ago, actually. I don't remember what got me in. I saw you somewhere, and I thought it was brilliant. Just you just chopping it up for a couple minutes with someone, and you kind of you take the role as an interviewer, and a lot of people don't have the capacity to be able to kind of take the back seat and let someone else speak. So there's not a lot of people doing what you do and bridging that gap. So I thought it was brilliant, man. I haven't really seen too many people doing what you do.
Oh, thanks, man. I suck at taking compliments, but I'll just say thanks. And we'll just leave it at that.
So do I. But, real shit, man. You're doing a good job, and I think it's killer.
No, man. Thanks. But back to you, because we're not here for me. Do you have any advice for anyone who wants to get into the music industry? Like, it's obviously tough, but like, what's your tips? You got any?
Keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going. Number one thing is keep going. And like we were discussing before, you should practice. You should have homies around you who can say, look, maybe don't release this. You're not at that level yet. But it doesn't mean you should stop. You just got to practice. No one starts off good at anything.
Mm.
You know, you got to put the time and effort in. If you really want it, you can do it. Just keep going. It's easier now than ever, and there's really no excuse. But just practice, have that self-awareness, and keep going. Keep going. I can't stress it enough. It's consistency. That's all it is.
And what's been the hardest part of the music industry journey for you? Like, you've got the advice, but what's the hardest part that you had to overcome?
Definitely getting people to listen, man. It's a dog eat dog world, but that's where the
Yeah.
consistency comes in. You know what I mean? People aren't willing to listen to someone. They might, if you got your homies, right, who have been with you in school, have followed you from school, whatever, your friends, and then you all of a sudden say, check out my song, I'm starting to do music. They'll all go love and share that first song. But once you start doing it, I drop a song once a fortnight usually. And, you know, I've been doing it a while now, and your original homies and friends, they start dropping off, you know, and it's easy to kind of lose faith, but that's where you got to keep the consistency. And now that we've been doing it a while, I've got those fans who didn't even know me before. All they know me for is my music, but they talk to me all the time. They share all my stuff. They love all my stuff, you know, and that kind of gives you the motivation to keep going. But that's definitely the hardest part, is building that original foundation. You just got to keep at it.
But as you say, friends drop off, but you got some cunt 10 miles away in a different country who's vibing your shit. Like, you know, it's that one person that you're making your music for, whether it's one person or 100,000, he is waiting every fortnight for your next release. You know what I mean? And that's right. What people don't understand. That's the numbers. Like, I'm not sure. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I'm not sure what your monthly listeners are on Spotify, but if it's anything around 100 or more, that's 100 people listening to your music.
To your stuff.
Like, that's nothing to sneeze at.
So when I remember, I had an inbox with all my friends from school, right? And when I first started doing this, I posted 10 monthly listeners. I was like, look at this, you know, I got 10 monthly listeners, and they were like, yeah, that's hectic. And now, man, that was what, maybe 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, maybe. And now my monthly listeners sit at about 1,000 consistently. You know, it's usually at least 800 to 1,000. I've even had, when I dropped my not my last album, but the album before that, I peaked at like 8,000 monthly listeners. You know, of course, I had the game on that album, which I'm sure helped a lot. But you know, the monthly listeners is something that fluctuates, and it's something that you can't. I used to get caught up at that, and when it'd go down, I'd kind of, it used to hurt. Yeah, but it means nothing, man. Monthly listeners, a listener on Spotify is someone who maybe your song got on a playlist, right, which happens often. They're going through that playlist, they hear it once, never listen to it again. They don't know who you are, they don't know what you do. You know what I mean? So you can't really look at the numbers and let it hit you like that. You just got to keep going and doing what you love to do. Forget the numbers, you know?
Yeah. Well, now that you bring it up, I didn't even notice, but you had the game on as a feature?
Yeah, that's right.
How much did that cost? How did that happen?
It was probably less than you think.
Really?
It was a bit, but my friend actually messaged me, and he said, "Oh, look at the game story. He's working with independent artists. You know, you should check. You'd have to pay." I was like, "Yeah, of course you have to pay." But and I just sent him a message, and he responded. He just responded, and I was like, "Let's do a feature." And he was like, "All right." You know, We chopped it up for a bit. I had to pay a little bit. I was just lucky I was in the position to be able to do it. And but it was probably a lot less than you think. He was doing those features for independent artists at a pretty good deal, and quick turnaround too. In about a week, he had sent me back the verse, and you know, it was good timing, really. You know, it's not. I didn't think it was gonna make me blow up or anything like that. You know, of course it wouldn't, because advertising means more than anything. But I just thought it was the right time. You know, it worked. I'm grateful that I got it, and you know, I don't regret it at all. Like, it got me up to 8,000 listeners or whatever, which isn't a lot. You know, I didn't get to retain any of those or anything. You know, I got my loyal listeners, but yeah, it's a great milestone. You know, and it gets your foot into the door, because a lot of people, they wouldn't listen to just some random guy.
Hmm.
But if you're some random guy who has worked with the game, someone they know, they're like, oh shit, he's got the game on a song, they will check it out.
Yeah.
That's my most streamed song on Spotify, and I'm sure it'll stay that way. Because people, they just want to check it out, whether they like you or not. They're like, fuck, you really got the game on there?
Yeah. That's why I had to ask, like, how the hell did that happen? Because I know a lot of people come out and say, I'm going to work with independent artists for undisclosed amount, obviously in the DMs and stuff. But are we talking like 1,000 less or 1,000 more?
Oh, it was over 1,000. Yeah, it was
with the currency conversion as well.
It was,
and you would have got stung.
It was over 1,000, under 3,000.
That's not bad for the game.
Yeah, for the game, man. He's worked with Drake. He's got millions. He's, everyone knows the game, whether you like him or not. A lot of people don't like him, but everyone knows him.
I was going to say, hasn't he fallen off at the moment?
yeah. Definitely, but it was just good timing, and he did a good job, man. He killed that song. He sent a great verse. He didn't slack either. He didn't, just because he doesn't know me. He wasn't like it's a good verse, and
it was just good timing.
Yeah, well, I hope you do.
I'll leave it in the description as well if anyone else wants to check it out. But yeah, geez, I didn't even know that happened. Otherwise, I would have brought it up.
Just good timing, really, And shout out to my homie who put me onto that, But I've also had songs. I don't know if you know these guys, but like Rittz. Rittz is another popular underground rapper. Same with Kaliko. They work with Tech9. They used to work with Tech9 a lot. So the features, they help, and it's fun. I look, I've always wanted to rap with these guys. I like these guys. So, being able to have them on my song, and then on Spotify, it says my name and then their name right next to it, it's kind of cool. So
on a scale of 1 to 10, how badly did you fangirl when you got a response back? Like
it was pretty exciting. Like, or it was like, because obviously he's in the US, so it was like early in the morning, man, like 3 a.m. or something. And as soon as I got it, I like leapt out of bed, man, and ran to the computer and, had to, put it all together and shit. And when I heard it, I quickly messaged my brother, Friendly Fire, because he mixes and masters most of my tracks. I quickly sent it to him. We'll both, over the moon.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry. No, I didn't cry. Not much of a crier, but it was definitely exciting, man.
Yeah. Well, having the game on a song, but like, who are your other inspirations?
Ooh. I would probably have to say Tech9. I listen to a lot of that fast chopper. If you listen to my music, I'm sure a lot of people will be able to tell that it's a very similar style. I like fast delivery, lyricism, wordplay, rhyme schemes, very intricate stuff. So, of course, Eminem, Tech9, Hobson, those kind of guys,
Yeah.
A lot of underground, like names that I don't listen to Drake. I don't listen to bloody, these little yachties and all that new music, but some of it is growing on me. I won't lie, like Lil Baby, he's pretty good. I was skeptical at first, but times change, man. Music changes, and you just gotta get used to it, I guess. But a lot of those underground choppers, for sure, they're my my inspirations, I'd say.
I would admit all the Littles and all those like artists, their beats slap. Like their beats are like banging. And that's half the reason why you listen to it. You just turn it up and you're just like, yeah. No idea what you're saying, but yeah.
The words take a back seat, man. Like, the beats, it doesn't matter what they're saying. And they know that too. These young guys, bro, they're very well aware of that. They say whatever they want. The beats slap, they auto-tune the fuck out of it. People eat it up, man.
Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I'm pretty confident. My brother more so than me with what we're doing. We both feel like we're on the right path. A lot of things have happened, and we're both very into manifestation. And to be from where we were to where we are now, we see it working, and we see things happening and opportunities. Even doing this, stuff like this. So hopefully in 5 years, a lot more of it. Hopefully it'll be paying the bills. Hopefully we can make a career doing what we love to do. But we're going to stick at it.
Yeah. No, that's good. Like, as you said, consistency is key.
Mm-hmm. So, number one, consistency, always.
I've got a question here, man. We're gonna jump into a podcast.
Man, I saw that on a TikTok video, man, and I thought it was I knew as soon as I heard it, I'm like, I'm gonna get my brother with this on the FireCast, man.
That's fucking gold. I heard it and I was like, what the fuck is he talking about? And then when you like $4.70 with sauce, I was like, you fuck. Oh, that was classic.
Some people, man, I don't know where they come up with this shit.
Neither. Oh, jeez. I do have a list of 4 questions to ask everyone. I don't know if you've heard the show before, but like, we'll start with what's your favorite food, man?
Ramen, chicken katsu ramen noodles, man.
Yeah, that sounds fancy as hell.
Oh, Japanese food, man. Yeah. I've been onto that shit hard lately.
Yeah. Netflix or Disney Plus?
Disney Plus, man. I'm a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah. Did you watch the Obi-Wan?
Definitely, man. Yeah, man. I loved it. Every episode, man. It was brilliant.
Yeah, better than the Book of Boba Fett for sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. I still enjoyed Boba Fett, but it was pretty slow. It was a bit slower.
Isn't it just like 3-4 episodes of just The Mandalorian?
Pretty much, but The Mandalorian's good, so I didn't mind it.
What else are you watching? Obviously, your girlfriend's not going to sit there and let you watch Obi-Wan and Star Wars. What else are you watching?
Actually, she does. She likes it too. It took her a minute, but yeah, she's into it. But yeah, as you say that, we are currently watching Love Island. It's a bit of both, you know what I mean?
I do have to ask because it's popping off at the moment. But have you watched the new Stranger Things?
I saw the first episode. I haven't watched the rest of it. I'm not a big horror guy,
This season's just all sorts of fucked up.
Yeah, after even that first episode, man, we saw that and we were just a bit. Me and my missus were like, "Oh, we're both not into horror, but we might get around to it. We hear a lot of good things about it." So,
yeah, man, story of my life. Seen the first episode, I was like, "What the hell is this?" And then, it gets pretty good from further on there. But like the last episode of that season's 2 hours, man.
2 hours.
2 hours. Oh, like for the episode, it's fucked.
Wow.
PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation, definitely.
What are you playing?
Nintendo Switch, actually. If I had to choose, I don't have a PlayStation at the moment, but growing up, I was always PlayStation over Xbox.
Yeah. What are you playing on Nintendo Switch?
I'm a big Super Smash Brothers guy, so I was playing Super Smash Brothers. So recently, I got Multiverses on my PC because I'm big into those kind of platform fighter games. I'm a casual gamer. I play Animal Crossing, that type of shit. I got Nintendo characters on my arm, man. Like I got Mewtwo there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, big Nintendo fan.
Okay, all right. And last but not least, what's your biggest conspiracy, man?
Oh shit, man. Oh, jeez. See, I don't know because actually. One that's really kind of fucked with me lately is those Mandela effects. Bro, I swear this pharaoh head, King Tutankhamun's pharaoh head, always had one snake on his head. And now all of a sudden, in the past week or so, everyone's talking about this vulture and the snake. And now you Google image him and he never had one snake. It was always a vulture and a snake. And that fucks with me, man. Like these Mandela effects, there's definitely something to them. I'm telling you, we've changed dimensions or something because he did not have a vulture on his head, bro. He never did.
Yeah, man. I have to agree with you because I watched a YouTube video and they were going through all the Mandela effects that you like may or may not have known. And then the Fonzie's jacket's brown. It's not black.
I don't know that one. I don't know what the Fonzie from
jeez,
the old show.
Yeah. It's brown, not black. And then that blew my mind. So I always thought it was black.
Like the old greaser type jacket. It makes sense to be black. You'd think it'd be black. That's the same with the other one that gets me is Looney Tunes, man. Looney Tunes is spelled Looney and then Tunes. I thought it was Looney Tunes, Toons. That makes sense, doesn't it? They're cartoons. They're loony cartoons, Looney Tunes. It's Looney Tunes for some reason. Do they even sing songs? I don't know. But like, what?
Yeah,
You know what I
shit's
mean?
crazy.
There's something to these, man. I'm telling you.
Tell you what, out of all the conspiracies and what you guys talk about on the Firecast, because you're pretty woke from what I hear you talk about on the Firecast. Like you're talking about shit I've never even heard of. And then for you to turn around and say the Mandela effect, yeah, that's pretty average. Because I thought you were gonna go deep.
I'm pretty back and forth on conspiracies, like I used to be a big believer that we didn't go to the moon. We didn't go to the moon, but I love space and I'm so into NASA. It's so interesting to me, and after you kind of do the research and, you see the scientists and you see how they explain things, it makes sense. You know what I mean? And now I do feel like we've been to the moon and we're going back, so it's like, I'm back and forth on a lot. I'll read these conspiracies and I'll bring them up on Firecast because they're interesting. But, if I necessarily believe them or not, is a different story. But yeah, it's hard for me to say what I even believe in or not, even like the stuff with COVID, and like you can go on for days digging. Like there's an argument to support whatever side, of defense you're playing. So, you just can't really trust anything you read or see. So, I try not to think about them too much.
Oh yeah, man. You end up with a tinfoil hat on.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like scrolling through YouTube, man. Before we wrap this up, do you have anything to say to your ever-growing fan base?
I'm just grateful to have you guys, man. To any people who might be watching this who've never seen me before, if you check out our stuff, man, I'd be very grateful. I think you'd like us. We do a lot of things, and just man, keep that consistency, keep that love. Keep positive, keep doing what you love to do, man. It's easier than ever. So there's really no excuse. If you reach out to me, send me a message, I always respond. So I'm very grateful to be where I am doing what I'm doing. I'm grateful to be on this show right now doing this. This is pretty surreal, that we've come this far, but, just very grateful.
Yeah. You pretty much half said it, but what do you have to say to anyone who isn't following you?
Yeah, well, just exactly that, man. Check us out. We got the merch dropping this weekend. So, a lot of great stuff. It's not, some nerdy gamer stuff. You'll look the part. Check out the merch store. Instagram is where I'm most active. So, all of us on Jacket Mafia, we're most active on Instagram. We got a Discord too. So, we do a lot of fun stuff in there, exclusive codes, things like that. We do a lot, man. So just follow my Instagram, hit the link in my bio. It'll take you to wherever you want to go.
Easy as that.
That's it.
DZ, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, thanks for having me, man. It's been a blast.